Special meeting of the Common Council to order. Oh, where'd Judge go? Oh, he's right there. We're going to call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So just to kick the meeting off, the order of business is going to be greatly reduced. This is a special meeting for those of you either watching or participating in one and you haven't participated in one yet. We're going to be dealing with a situation where a public notice was not filed appropriately in the OD for the public hearing for the sale of Kennedy Parking Garage and the public hearing on the sale of 125 Thomas Street. In addition, I believe that if the motions are offered from the floor, the Common Council is going to be rescheduling our regular meeting on the 15th and moving that meeting, in which case we're going to be dealing with other pieces of legislation that we will move the public hearings that were passed at our previous meeting for the 15th. So what I'm going to do at this time is open the floor for motions on the meeting.
Mr. President, I'd like to move legislation number 19, rescheduling regular Common Council meeting.
Okay. There we go. We have a second.
The Common Council meeting does hereby cancel its regular meeting on September 15th and reschedule the next meeting September 22nd, 21 at 7 p.m. in the Common Council chambers.
Okay, your votes. I'll do roll call for you, Celeste. Call it. Oh, Celeste, your vote?
Mr. President, can you just I really couldn't hear
the
motion, so could you just repeat it really quickly?
If you could turn off your video for now, it's okay. That might clear up the connection a little bit. I will also stop the video. There we go. All right, so Councilman Miola moved, and it was seconded by McNeil that we will be canceling the regularly scheduled meeting on the 15th of September and rescheduling that meeting to September 22nd at 7 p.m.
Okay, that's a yes for me. Thank you.
All right.
8 yeas adopted.
Thank you. Oh, you know what we have to do really quick? I apologize. Can you call the roll? Thank you.
McNeil, Burmaster, Friend, Miola, Moody, Beatrice, Lemetico, DeBrango, all present.
Okay. All right, and now the clerks have presented us with a packet. We were originally, I was thinking about calling for motions to pull things from committee and amend them, but the clerks have set the packet up so that Ordinance 2, 4, 6, and 8 from the previous meeting, which were put in committee, we can just pull those from committee and dispense of them, and then we can just move through the packet as it sits. So is there a motion from the floor regarding Ordinance 2, 4, 6, and 8, the sale of 124 Thomas Street, 315 through 317 Court Street, 1125 Summit Place, and Mohawk Street and Blandina Street properties, pulling those from committee to dispense? We have a motion from McNeil. We have a second from DeBrango. Thank you. And I'm just going to call any opposed from pulling those from committee. Any opposed? Okay, they're on the floor. Motion to dispense with those. We have a motion from Miola, a second from Beatrice. All right, so Ordinance 2, 4, 6, and 8 have been dispensed. Now we can move to the new pieces that have been prepared for this special meeting. We have Resolution 1. Do we have a motion to move that piece? Okay, it's Miola as the motion. It's Resolution 1, calling for a public hearing on the sale of Kennedy Parking Garage to Downtown Utica Development, LLC, for $1.5 million. That public hearing will be held on September 22nd at 7 p.m. Do we have a second? Okay, we got multiples, so I'm going to go with Burmaster. And that is up for a vote now. Your votes. Celeste?
Yes.
All right, call it.
8 yeas adopted.
Thank you very much. Now we have Ordinance 2, the sale of Kennedy Parking Garage to Downtown Utica Development LLC for $1.5 million. That's the sale.
Motion to refer to committee, Mr.
All right, we have a
President.
motion to refer to committee. We have a second? We have a second. Moody had his hand up there. Moody's the second. Any opposed to placing that in committee? Okay, it's all set. Resolution 3, calling for a public hearing on the sale of 125 Thomas Street to Serafin Vasquez Martinez for $8,000. That's the public hearing on the 22nd of September at 7 p.m. Is there a motion? We have a motion from Moody, second from Miola. Your votes. Celeste?
Yes.
All right.
8 yeas adopted.
Thank you very much. And is there a motion to place the sale of 125 Thomas Street for $8,000 from the URA?
Motion to refer to committee.
Motion. We have a second from McNeil. Any opposed? All right, that's in committee. Thank you very much. All right, we're moving on to resolution. Where is it here? 5. I'm looking for. I want to just make sure we get this sorted and everything's in order. All right, so we have the next piece, which we'll need a motion for, is Resolution 5, calling for a public hearing on the sale of 124 Thomas Street to Patricio Muela for $30,000. The public hearing is on September 22nd, 7 p.m. Your votes. We have a motion from Miola, second from DeBrango. Your votes.
This
So-
is the public hearing for 125 Thomas Street?
124. It's the one we already, yeah, so just, you may have missed this because the connection was bad at the beginning of the meeting. Resolution 5 through 18
Yeah, the regular.
are involving ones that we already dealt with and called for the public hearing on the 15th, Celeste. So what we need to do is repass them so that the public hearings are appropriately called and can be scheduled in paper. Okay? What's your vote?
Yep.
Yes, all right.
8 yeas adopted.
Thank you. All right. And Ordinance 6, the sale of 124 Thomas Street to Patricio Muela for $30,000. Is there a motion to refer to committee?
Mr.
We have
President.
Miola, second from DeBrango. Any opposed? It's in committee. All right. Resolution 7, calling for a public hearing on 315 to 317 Court Street to Michael Pezzalinella for $400,000. The public hearing will be on the 22nd of September. We have a motion from Miola. We have a second from DeBrango. All right, please let the record show that McNeil has recused herself from the vote. Your votes? Celeste?
I'd like, I'm going to vote nay.
Okay.
And I'd like the record to reflect that my reasons are the same as I presented on the 1st of September.
Thank you.
7 yeas adopted.
All right. Ordinance 8, sale of 315 to 317 Court Street to Michael Pezzalinella for $400,000.
Motion to refer to committee, Mr. President.
There's a motion to refer. There's a second from DeBrango. Anyone opposed to placing that in committee?
Yes.
All right. Celeste is opposed. Thank you. Yeah. It wasn't 8. She voted, but she voted no. She voted no. Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you, Judge. Thank you. No, no problem. Thank you for double checking that. Okay, Resolution 9, calling for a public hearing on the sale of 1125 Summit Place to Soco 2 LLC for $1,500. We have a motion from Miola. We have a second from Beatrice. Your votes. Celeste?
Yes.
Okay,
8 yeas adopted.
thank you. Is there a motion to refer ordinance 10, sale of 1125 Summit Place to
To
committee?
committee.
Motion from Miola. Second from McNeil. Any opposed? Okay, ordinance 10 has been referred to committee. Resolution 11, calling for a public hearing on the sale of 707, 709, 319.53-4-39 Mohawk Street, and 703, 705, 707, 711 Blandina Street to Izmir Trimovic, $7,000 from the URA. That is the public hearing, 22nd. We have a motion from Miola to move that. Burmaster with the second. Your votes. Celeste?
Yes.
Okay.
8 yeas adopted.
Okay. Ordinance 12 is the sale of the same Mohawk Street and Blandina Street properties for $7,000 from the URA. Is there a motion to refer that to committee?
Motion to refer to committee,
We have a
Mr. President.
motion. We have a second from DeBrango. Any opposed to placing that in committee? All set. All right. Resolution 13, calling for a public hearing on the sale of 742 J Street to Barros Magic for $5,000. We have a motion from Miola. We have a second from Beatrice. Your votes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Celeste.
8 yeas adopted.
Now we got this moving in the right direction here. Ordinance 14, sale of 742 J Street for $5,000.
Refer to committee, Mr. President.
All right, we have McNeil's the second on that. Any opposed? It's in committee. Resolution 15, calling for a public hearing on the sale of 710 Nickel Street to Frank Katroop for $8,000. Miola's the motion, second from Beatrice. Your votes.
Yes.
8 yeas adopted.
Thank you very much. Ordinance 16, sale of the same to Frank Katroop for $8,000.
Motion to refer to committee, Mr. President.
Second from McNeil. Any opposed? Okay, it's in committee. Resolution 17, calling for a public hearing in the sale of 501 Square Street and 1315 Taylor Avenue to Desis Rodriguez for $30,000. Resolution 17 calls for a public hearing on the 22nd of September. We have a motion from Miola. We have a second from Moody. Your votes.
Yes.
Okay.
8 yeas adopted.
Ordinance 18 is the sale of 501 Square Street and 1315 Taylor Avenue for $30,000.
Motion to refer to committee, Mr. President.
Second from Burmaster. Any opposed to placing that in committee? No one's opposed. All right, it's in committee. All right. Judge Garamone, I have a question for you. I have a question for you. Okay. Should we, even though we've now rescheduled them and revoted on them, do we have to reconsider and vote down the previous public hearings? I feel like we probably should.
I discussed that with the clerk earlier. I think that for the purpose of the record, I think we ought to do it.
Yeah, we should. That
just
way.
to show that we followed some procedure. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Two things I wanted to
Yeah.
say before we adjourn. I discussed that with David, and
I think it would be proper as well.
City clerk. I think it'd be a good idea procedure.
Okay.
Because
Can we make one
they're
motion
out there from-
to cancel
their
all
records are reviewed
public
by
hearings for the
others.
previous date?
How did you do it twice?
Okay.
So, do it, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you. You had a question?
One motion to cancel all public hearings for the previously scheduled dates.
If the motion was phrased, well, so here's the deal. We voted on each one separately, and they were for 2, 4, 6, and 8, the ones we pulled from committee. So what I'm going to do is
Dispense with the
call
public
for a
hearing.
if someone makes a motion to cancel the public hearing,
I would like to dispense with all the public hearings for ordinance 2, 4, 6, and 8.
all right, so the motion is to dispense of and cancel the public hearings that were called on September 15th for the sale of 124 Thomas Street, the sale of 315 to 317 Court Street, the sale of 1125 Summit Place, the sale of 707, 709, 319.53-4-39 Mohawk Street, and 703, 705, 707, 711 Blandina Street.
Is that all of them?
That is all the ones we did pass. Those were the ones that were in committee. Those were the public hearings, yes.
Second.
Yeah, for the reason they're not going to occur. So the motion was Miola. We had multiple seconds, but Lemetico was the first second, so I'm going to go with him. Any opposed? Celeste? Are you opposed to canceling? All right, perfect. All right, so no one's opposed to canceling the public hearings that won't happen at our canceled meeting. Any other business? I do believe we have a few pieces, yes.
I have handed you all a memo that was prepared by Mr. Giorgio, who's present, that she sent to me, and I told her I was going to provide a copy to all the council members, because you're all getting inquiries about panhandling and all of that, and I sent you a short memo telling you what the courts have been saying about that. Mr. Giorgio, at the request of the mayor, he wanted the same report because he's been inundated with this. And Mr. Giorgio, I gave her the main case that I was looking at and a treatise I was reading on it. And Mr. Giorgio went even further and did an extensive research for the mayor, and she shared it with me, and I'm sharing it with you. That's what this copy is, because when your constituents ask you about this, tell them it isn't that you're not concerned about this matter. It's just that the law is the law, and the city of Utica cannot afford to have lawsuits on matters they most probably will not win. And then there would be some damages, especially if there was an arrest involved. And that was the legal concern. The political concern and the public view of all this, you should be ready to explain. And if you want to blame it on the lawyers, blame it on the lawyers.
Carry this with you.
So you all got it. It's a very well done piece of work. I congratulate Mrs. Giorgio, who I am having a wonderful relationship with. And Mr. Moody, I want you to tell you, we've already discussed about your matter that you brought up. It has not gone by the wayside. We're still discussing it. In fact, we're going to discuss it a little more today, and we'll be ready for that report that you've asked for. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much. I believe we have one more piece.
Mr. President,
New business.
I'd like to move resolution number 20, authorizing sale of wine and beer to FX Math Brewery Company. Now be it resolved, the name of the sponsor, FX Matt Brewery Company. Name of the event, Blackberry Smoked Concert. Date of the event, Sunday, September 26, 2021, 5 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Location of the event, Saranac Brewery, 830 Varick Street, Utica, New York. Be it resolved that this is a permit is contained upon permittee defending, indemnifying, holding harmless the city of Utica's agents and employees from any liability allegedly occurring as a result of activities authorizing herein, and providing liability insurance, naming the city as the insured in the amount not less than $1 million of general liability and $1 million liquor liability. A certificate showing such insurance may be fully enforced and in effect and shall filed in the corporate council before undertaking to permit activities. Mr. President, I'd like to call for a vote.
All right, second from DeBrango. Show your votes. Celeste, your vote?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
8 yeas adopted.
Councilman Friend, I will send you a copy of that report to the city clerk, and I also want the council members to know that we have a representative from the press here, and I've given them a copy of that report also. Thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you very much.
Motion to close, Mr. President,
Thank you,
if
Joe.
possible.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. We have a second from Moody. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.